What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Hi, how are you? And we're back with another haunted locations in each state video. It's been long enough, I think. Also something that I didn't even discuss in my last two videos because it's been a minute since and I didn't even realize I didn't mention it. I don't think I mentioned it in any of them, but I dyed my hair. I bleached the under part of it. All my Harry Potter fans will understand this. I need to bleach it again. My roots are coming through, and it's also, I meant to get it bleached again before my roots came through because I wanted it lighter, but this is basically the Narcissa Malfoy style hair. I liked it, or I like it. First, I didn't know how well I liked it, but I like it. Anyways, we are going to start back up with the haunted locations in each state series, and we're going to start off where we left off, which is Delaware. I don't know much about Delaware. I mean, I didn't know a lot about like haunted places or a lot of places in the states before I started this series. I knew of, like, obviously I knew about the haunted places in Alabama because I live there. But yeah, we're gonna start off this time with Delaware, so let's get into it. This article that I found is the 10 most haunted places in Delaware. Number 1 on the list is Old Maggies Bridge in Seaford, Delaware. The ghost stories about Old Maggies Bridge is an interesting one, but it certainly does have some elements of urban legend about it, given that it seems to be a Bloody Mary type of game. However, it is popular enough that local people will still warn visitors about the bridge, so it most likely qualifies for being included, even if it is a little embellished. Anyway, Maggies Bridge is located on Route 78 in Seaford and is apparently the site of a fatal accident in which a pregnant woman named Maggie perished. The legend is that if you stand on Maggie's Bridge at night and shout, "Maggie, I have your baby," into the darkness, you will soon hear the sound of a sobbing Maggie scrambling in the bushes looking for her child. That's kind of sad. I don't know if it's true or not. Anyways. Number 2, the Addie C in Bethany, Delaware. The Addie C is a beautiful Victorian-style bed and breakfast with stunning sea view and a real homey feel. However, this is also one of the most haunted places in Delaware. The house was built in 1902 and was named after John M. Addie. Over the years, it has changed hands several times, but in the past 25 years, the Garavitz, probably said that wrong and I'm sorry, have owned and operated the bed and breakfast. They have undertaken expensive restoration work in keeping with the original design. I love when people like get old houses and they renovate it, but they don't make it modern. So like they keep it the Victorian style if it was a Victorian style house, but they just like make sure that it's up to date with the Victorian and older style still intact. I love when people do that. In the terms of the paranormal side of things, it is believed that at least 3 of the 13 rooms are haunted. So 13-room Victorian home. Sounds like the perfect place for a haunting. Room number 1 is the home of the Addie C's infamous haunted bathroom. The copper bathtub is violently shaken on occasion, and many guests have experienced this strange phenomenon that cannot be easily explained. In room number 6, there is a paranormal activity of a very different kind. When people pass the room, they say that they can hear organ music coming from the room, even though there is no organ in the room. Finally, room number 11 is haunted by the ghost of Paul Delaney? Paul Delaney, a man who once worked at the Abbey C. The haunted rooms are only the beginning of the paranormal activity at the Abbey C. There are also reports of ghosts who run through walls in halls in the evening. At certain times, the air is filled with perfume scents and mysterious music floats through the building. There are also a handful of reports of footsteps on the roof in the dead of night, which some claim belong to the ghost of Kurt Addy, who fell to his death from the roof many years ago. Well, okay then. I mean, a lot of hauntings and stuff are what they call residual hauntings, which is basically like that one where they're saying they hear footsteps on the roof at night. It's probably a residual haunting. It tends to happen when there is a tragic accident that happens, or a tragic death of any kind that happens like that, where the spirit is just constantly on a loop replaying its last moments. So that one's probably a residual haunting. Bellevue Hall in Wilmington, Delaware. Bellevue Hall is the property that sits nestled in Bellevue State Park and is reputed to be one of the most haunted places in Delaware, thanks to several spirits that call it home. On the second and third floors of the building are closed to the public, but staff members say that these are the most active parts of the property in terms of unexplained activity. The ghosts have been known to mess around with the electricity, move chairs around, and they are often heard in the form of disembodied screams and laughter. That sounds terrifying. Cape Henlopen State Park in Lewis, Delaware. Cape Henlopen State Park in Lewis, Delaware also has a rather creepy tale associated with it. It is said that there is a phantom soldier still on duty behind Tower 12. Those who get close to his post, located in a bunker underneath what appears to be a dune near the campground bicycle trail next to the spotting Tower 12, have heard growling or have been yelled at by disembodied voices. The soldier's face has also manifested itself in photographs and video clips recorded in the area on several different occasions. Growling? Growling. Okay. Christina Fire Company, Station 12 in Christina, Delaware. It is said that 2 different ghosts are haunting the Christina Fire Company, Station 12. One of them is believed to be evil and one kind. The evil spirit is said to appear in the doorway of the engineer's room as a dark, shadowy figure. This one seems to appear much more frequently than the other kinder ghost. In fact, the kind spirit is rarely seen, but it is believed that whenever the evil spirit appears, the kind spirit is there, stopping the evil one from going any further into the hallway. Witnesses say that it is an ongoing battle between good and evil, and that anyone present when it happens can definitely feel it. Catman's Grave, Long Cemetery in Frankfort, Delaware. One of the strangest tales out of Delaware has to be the Catman. This story is associated with Long Cemetery, Frankfort. Apparently, in life, the Catman was a gravekeeper who spent a large portion of his time chasing troublemakers out of the cemetery. He was apparently a very feline-looking man. After his death, it is said that those cat-like features became more prominent, and now the caretaker's spirit manifests as a part cat, part man creature who has often scared away the kids who come to the cemetery to party. He is still watching over the place, even in death. It is also said that if you are bold enough to knock on his tomb and disturb him at rest, that he will mess with your vehicle, making it so that you have difficulty leaving the cemetery. Yeah, that's an interesting one. John Dickinson's house in Dover. The Dickinson Mansion, also known as Poplar Hall, is located on the John Dickinson Plantation in Dover, Delaware. It served as the childhood home of John Dickinson, former congressman and delegate of the U.S. Constitutional Convention in 1787. The property was built in 1739 and was almost destroyed in a fire in 1804. It is now open to the public as a museum. John Dickinson himself haunts the house, and many visitors have reported hearing the sounds of someone writing in the old master's study. His apparition has also been seen around the property, and his voice has been captured several times via EVP. Fort Delaware in Delaware City. Fort Delaware is now inactive in that it no longer serves as a harbor defense facility. However, it is certainly still active in terms of paranormal activity. Peace Patch Island has been owned by the military since the 1810s, having been seized from a Dr. Gale who was using it as his private hunting ground. The French built the fort to protect Delaware from the Confederates and other enemies. In 1812, Captain Samuel Babcock oversaw the efforts to make the fortification stronger. Seawalls and dikes were built at strategic points around the island, and the construction of the Star Fort was started in 1817. However, due to various delays and damage suffered, it took longer to complete than anticipated. The second version of the fort, which is the pentagonal one you see on the island today, was designed by Captain Delafield and was built between 1848 and 1859, although it was not declared complete until 1868. The dungeons are probably the most active spot of the structure. Prisoners would have been kept in the dungeon without bed or even water. They slept on the floor amidst the vermin, so needless to say, death and disease was rife. Yeah. Many people have reported shadowy figures and full-body apparitions in the dungeon area, and it is not at all uncommon to hear disembodied voices echoing through the fort's dark halls. There have also been sounds of chains rattling. Delaware Governor's Mansion in Dover. The Governor's Mansion in Dover is believed to be the most haunted house in Delaware, having been built in 1790, and its first reported ghost sighting back in 1815 it certainly has a claim to be. The owners back then were Dr. and Mrs. Martin Bates. During a visit, a well-known internate preacher named Mr. Lorenzo Dow was attending breakfast with the Bates when Mrs. Bates asked him if he could lead a prayer. Mr. Dow, hesitant, suggested they wait for the other person in the house. Surprised, Mrs. Bates explained nobody else was in the house with them. Dow described the man he had just passed in the staircase was an older gentleman wearing a powdered wig, knee breeches, and a ruffled shirt. Mrs. Bates was shocked, as who he had just described was her late father, Mr. Charles Hilliard III, the builder and original owner of the home. Smyrna Museum in Smyrna, Delaware. I had to look it up how to say it because I didn't know. The Smyrna Museum in Smyrna, Delaware consists of two historic buildings, the barracks and the plank house, both dating back to the 1700s. The barracks, which now houses the Smyrna Museum, was built in the 1790s and housed soldiers during the War of 1812. It's also used to recruit Union soldiers during the Civil War, and the Delaware Civil War lottery was held on its steps. As with most locations that have this amount of history, there is a ghost story or two to tell, and the museum and the Duck Creek Historical Society embrace that haunted history. Paranormal reports here include unexplained sounds and voices, objects moving on their own, and the feeling of being watched. Well, there's that. These definitely sound interesting, and who knows, maybe one day I would like to go and see these. But anyways, that's going to be all for this one on haunted places in each state. I hope you guys liked it. If I missed any places in Delaware that you think I should talk about, let me know. I might make another part eventually after I go through all of the states. So yeah. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and a comment and share with a friend. And I will see you guys hopefully next week with Florida haunted places. Either that or another type of video, but hopefully I will see you guys next week. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.